Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
Right now, Lithia Ford of Boise is buying used vehicles. How much you want for the SUV?
I don't know.
Well, Lithia Ford will give you more than that.
How much more?
More than you think.
I'm not thinking anything.
I'm thinking you might get even more than that. See how much more you can get at Lithia Ford of Boise.
When it comes to concrete, we've got you covered. Rowpaint.com offers custom concrete coating services for your garage, business, warehouse, and more. And we do it in one day. We are your complete concrete coatings solution.
Welcome to the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show from Bronco Nation News. As we get you set for the latest news, insight, and analysis as game time approaches, the BNN pregame show is presented by Lithia Ford of Boise. Check out lithiafordboise.com to view the full inventory of vehicles, or check them out at 8853 West Fairview in Boise. Now, let's head out and join BJ Rains for the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show from Bronco Nation News.
Greetings, Boise State fans, and welcome to the Lou, St. Louis, Missouri, Chaifetz Arena. Big one tonight here. Boise State getting ready to take on the St. Louis Billikens. You see Boise State in the blue uniforms down there. Going to be a lot of blue in the arena tonight. Big one coming up in about an hour on ESPN Plus back in the Boise area. My name is BJ Rains. We bring you courtside. We got Bob Ramsey, voice of the Billikens, kicking off our coverage tonight. We're going to have Abe Jackson, RJ Keene. Going to have a lot of fun tonight. But wanted to get the Billiken perspective on this one. And, Bob, you came on last year when the game was in Boise. On our first day of Bronco Nation News, you agreed to come on again, so appreciate it. How's it going?
It's going great, and it was a real honor to be on your very first one, not just because it was first, because of the success you've had. Really, really proud of what you've done, and I know because I follow you guys all the time now and social media and Bronco Nation, the people, not the product. I know fans really appreciate what you do. It's really a great product.
Well, appreciate you for saying that. This should be fun tonight, man. Tell us a little bit about the Billikens and from the St. Louis perspective on this one.
Well, I tell you, with a club that's 7-3, okay, things are going pretty good. But the Billikens, and I hate to use the word should, because usually in any kind of athletic contest, what should have happened, happened. But should have beat Auburn at Auburn. Went 1 for 11 in the second half and had the lead, had the game, and lost it. So it's just an example of some of the disappointment. Now, on the other hand, the Billikens have had 2 games, 2 losses. They've been absolutely blown out of the game, and it hadn't been a contest. And that was quite a shock to the system.
That Maryland game.
Getting blown out by Maryland, and then this past week at Iona. I got to tell you, folks, when you have high expectations for a team, and to see that you can get blown off a court still, it was a rude awakening, to be quite honest.
Tell us about Yuri Collins. Obviously, leads the nation in assists, and Boise State fans would love a repeat of last year in Boise, a career-low 1 assist for Yuri Collins in Boise. He's had 20 in a game this year. He's had 14 in a game this year, averaging well over 10 a game. What is it that makes Yuri Collins so good dishing out the basketball?
It's like all the great players, in particular great point guards, vision. His vision and his understanding of the game. His teammates get Yuri. They know that if they put the work in to get to the spot, the ball will be there. And but it is vision that makes him special.
What else should Boise State fans be looking for tonight in terms of the Billikens, and when they're going good, what's working for SLU?
Well, I still, you don't want to get too negative when you're 7-3 and winning games at home and that sort of thing. But I think the Billikens need a couple of guys to start coming through to get to the next level. One is Javonte Perkins, who, 14 months ago was the preseason Atlantic 10 Player of the Year, and he blew out his knee right before this. It was really an ugly injury. He blew out his knees coming back, but he's been playing gimpy, and he's not the guy he was. And that's not unusual. He's 56, 57 weeks out from major surgery.
Yep.
But it's a factor. And then the other guy is the young man that led junior college basketball in scoring last year. Sincere Parker is his name. Wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't even on Coach Rice's scouting report. However, this is a kid that they need to be good. They need him to be good if they're going to get at the level to which they aspire.
Boise State, you can see warming up down there on the court. I was surprised they went blue. I thought they might go orange or black or something with all the blue in the arena, but we got a lot of blue, I guess, tonight in the arena. Bob,
Try to confuse the fans.
I guess so. What's the SLU perspective about what they're saying about Boise State?
Travis Ford has said to me on the air and also to the team in practice and shoot around how much respect he has for Coach Rice and the way they play defense. And when you've been punched in the mouth a couple of times this season, when teams are willing to commit to tough defense, that respect is going to come, and that's the number one thing he talks about.
What are you and Earl's keys for the game tonight from the Billiken perspective? What are the Billikens? How do they get a win tonight?
Well, I think they have to be able to dominate the boards or win the battle of the boards, and Billiken offensive rebounding versus the Broncos' ability to not allow second chance opportunities. Those are the two things that are going to really come to head tonight. Who wins that battle, I think, will be the key.
Final thing, Bob. I mean, just to have this is a big game for both teams. Two teams that would love to have. This will be as Leon Rice calls it, a feather in the cap type of game that later in the season you'll have it. I mean, two good teams, a Saturday night in mid-December. I mean, this should be a fun one tonight. A lot on the line for both teams.
A lot of the pundits talk about the standalone games. This is a great standalone game. It's a great series. I hope they keep it going, but it's so tough. I'd be surprised if they do. But I think these are the kind of games that you have to have, and the Billikens really need them because right now the Atlantic 10 is not faring well nationally, and it might be only the second time in like 25 years that it could be a one-bid league. And so putting the resume together is absolutely critical for St. Louis University.
Well, Bob, we appreciate it. You and Earl are going to be a lot of fun on the call down there, and always fun, and appreciate your time, and hopefully the game lives up to the billing here.
Continued success to you and Bronco Nation. As you know, I'm a Mountain West honk. I love Boise, and I hope we do get to come back and play some more. Although we might have to end up being enemies. My son is heavily considering going to Wyoming.
Oh, there you go.
So we can have some real issues.
There you go. I just love the random retweets and likes from Bob Ramsey about something that has nothing to do with SLU, but I always appreciate it, man.
The town of Boise, the school, and you all won me over last year.
Well, appreciate it, sir. Thanks again,
Thanks,
and enjoy the game. Should be fun.
Good to see you.
There he is, Bob Ramsey, voice of the Billikens. He's a legend here in the St. Louis sports media, and we appreciate him for giving us some time and coming on here as Boise State. Again, you see him on the court there warming up as they get set for this one, and should be fun. We're looking forward to this one, obviously. Boise State, again, they're wearing the blue uniforms. You see them down there warming up. We're about 49 minutes from tip-off. This game is on ESPN+, but you got to have the subscription for that ESPN+. But, Boise State with the brand-new blue uniforms. I like them. They're looking nice. We're going to hear from Leon Rice in a little while. We're going to hear from R.J. Keene. Abe Jackson going to join me in just a second. Go ahead and get your typical pregame shout-outs in. Where are you watching the game from? What's your score prediction? Any comments or thoughts as Boise State goes for a 7th straight win? Let us know here. I do want to thank a couple of our sponsors, Cutwater Canned Cocktails. Check them out, Cutwater Spirits. We appreciate them. More than 30 flavors of premixed premium cocktails. You can find one at your local gas station or grocery store. Rowpaint.com, our title sponsor. Check them out as well. BNN15 is a promo code they got going on right now. BNN15 gets you 15% off your interior painting, and we're looking forward to that, so check them out at rowpaint.com. And again, interior painting anywhere in the Treasure Valley. Check them out with the promo code BNN15. Lithia Ford of Boise, LithiaFordBoise.com. You can do what our family did. Look online, find the vehicle you want, test drive it, and then go on in and purchase it, and you'll be ready to go. Idaho Central Credit Union sponsors our road trip coverage. We appreciate them as well. So make sure you check out our friends at Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. More than 500,000 Idahoans have made the switch, and you should as well. You see Boise State warming up there on the screen. We're going to bring Abe Jackson in here if we can make the camera work. There he is. We switch sides. Abe, We went from the radio side on St. Louis to the radio side with Boise State, Abe Jackson. You'll hear him with Bob Beeler coming up here in about 20 minutes. Abe, appreciate you as always, man. How's it going?
Yeah, things are good. It's good to be here in St. Louis. My first time being here, and got to go out and see some of the sights. And took a little tour this morning of the Budweiser brewery, which is pretty impressive. I got to say, just the scope of that thing is massive, and it looks like it could be, some buildings could be in the Ivy League schools. I mean, just all brick, and so it was pretty cool. It was good. It's been a good time. That
was cool. You and Jordan Kay and myself went and toured the brewery, did some of the sites, and we couldn't get you up in the arch though. Not enough time to get you up there.
Not enough time for that.
What do you make of this building, this environment? It's a pretty nice venue for a basketball game here.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It holds about 10,000 people. It's one deck, and it really reminds me of Reno's arena. Maybe a couple thousand bigger than that, but it's kind of a classic basketball arena that is built, I think, specifically for basketball. So every seat looks like it's pretty good. The fans are pretty close to the court, and hopefully there'll be a lot of fans here tonight.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. They are expecting a pretty good crowd for this one, as you see Boise State warming up there. Abe, 6 wins in a row for the Broncos, and obviously this is a big one tonight for both teams. But you don't want to make too much of it. But it's as I said earlier, Leon Rice would call it a feather in the cap type game. You get this one, it's going to look good on that resume come March.
Yeah, well, there's some teams that Boise State has beat that you might take a look at and say, well, is it really going to be a good win later on in the season? Washington State's kind of looking like that. But this is a team in St. Louis that if you beat them, you're pretty confident that it's going to be a quad one win pretty much the entire season, because they're a very good squad.
What from what you can see, and I mean, obviously Yuri Collins, the point guard, is going to be a tough one. The Billikens obviously are a team that came to Boise last year and won in overtime. But what are going to be the keys, you think, on the Boise State side to try to slowing down the Billikens?
Well, hopefully Boise State can shoot better than, I think, 46% from the free throw line like they did last year.
12 of 26.
And then lose in overtime. But the keys to this game are a lot like the other ones. It's going to come down to rebounding. It's going to come down to getting those defensive stops. But the difference in this game, opposed to maybe the last few, is that when on the defensive side of things, you really have to prepare for a certain player. Some of the last few games, take Texas A&M out of it, but the last 3 games at home, it was more about Boise State just doing what they do, and they should be okay. You have to throw some tweaks and do some different things with such a talented point guard in Yuri Collins that St. Louis has.
And what is that like? We talked about this in our pre-show meeting last night. How do you? It's one thing to go up against a guy that's going to score 25 a game, and you got to guard him. But when the guy is getting assists like Yuri Collins, how different is that to game plan for a point guard that's more of a passer than a scorer? Yeah,
well, I think the first thing that it comes down to is tons of ball pressure. I mean, to make an assist, you have to see somebody. You have to be able to see where your teammate is and then get him the ball. If he is more focused on the defender in front of him, or maybe more focused at a double team that might come out of nowhere to get the ball out of his hands, I think it comes to ball pressure is how you can stop a good assist player like Yuri Collins. And when we say good, that's not giving him enough credit. He had 20 assists in one game. He has 111 assists on the season. The most assists for Boise State is Marcus Shaver with 33. And we look at him and say, hey, Marcus Shaver, he can really dish the ball. He's got some good assists. You had 111 assists from Yuri Collins. So it's kind of odd that you're not really gaming to stop a scorer, but you're gaming to stop someone who creates scoring.
He had 20 in one game, and then he had 14 in the very next game after that. I mean, it is pretty incredible. It seems like some of the Boise State storylines, Abe, have been the same every time we get on here pregame, but they're still trying to develop that bench and still trying to get some guys going. Leon Rice has kind of dubbed them the Iron Five, the 5 starters. What are you seeing from the bench? What can they do to keep getting guys like, Nganga and Mosilla and Milner now is coming off the bench? I like what I'm getting from Jace Whiting. What you're seeing from him is nice, but got to have some more guys. I mean, I don't know if this is a winning recipe to have all 5 starters playing, 35 minutes a game here down the rest of the season.
No, it's unsustainable for the entire season, but it's just interesting how different of a team this year is than last year. Last year, you knew what you were getting from your 5. You knew what you were getting from your 6th, 7th, and 8th guy on the bench, and they were all quality. I mean, you got a guy like Najee Smith who's starting and producing in the starting lineup. He was off the bench last year. So it's a completely different looking team, and Coach Rice is still figuring out the bench and seeing what he does have from guys like Nganga, who have shown flashes, but then have shown flashes like he's a freshman. So it's a trust factor, and how much can Coach Rice trust the guys on the bench to come in and not let any of the defensive effort or the offensive execution fall off.
What's impressed you most during the 6-game winning streak here?
I think the defense. I really like the defense. When you hold teams to 58 points on the year and you give up only 71 to Texas A&M on the road, that's technically neutral, but, I mean, it was pretty much a road game for Boise State. The defense has shown up every single game, and that's going to come in handy. It'll come in handy all year because the offense is something that does this. Shots go in, shots don't go in. But if your defense is solid, you can withstand and withhold yourselves on a night where maybe you're shooting, 35% from the floor. You get good defense, and you can still come out with a win.
Were you expecting the defense to be – the defense last year was so good.
It was a surprise to me. Bob and I have talked about that, something that surprises me, and the defense was. Because you lose a really good perimeter defender in Emmanuel Acott. You lose maybe one of the better all-time interior defenders in Mladen Armouche, and then just a 2-position through 5-position defender in Abu Kijab. You have really good defenders that you lost, but it says something to this coaching staff is that they can get different guys, put them in different situations, get them to buy into playing defense, because every one of these guys was a big-time scorer when they came out of high school.
Yeah.
And so to have them buy into defense and say, look, you might not get on the floor unless you rebound and play defense. They're buying into that. They're playing great D, and that's what's won them some games.
You were traveling with the team yesterday. I mean, had to make the stop in Salt Lake City. I know the team's going to get to go home tonight after the game, but in terms of just the longer trip, than compared to some of the Mountain West games, I know they went all the way to the tournament. Obviously, we went 2 days early for that one. What do you make just about the trip here and the atmosphere? And this is the first true road game of the season. As what for fans that aren't really knowing what that entails. I mean, just in terms of the first time in the hostile crowd all going against you as part of in the neutral court games. I think there's been 5. That's just not the same, right? I mean, what are going to be the challenges they face going on a true road game for the first time?
Well, it's exciting. I mean, as a player, and I can only speak for myself when I was playing, is what you want in an arena is energy. And there can be energy that when you make a shot, there's 10,000 people that go crazy and cheer you on. Or there can be energy that when you make a shot, you make 10,000 people be quiet. I mean, it is a powerful thing when you have a bunch of people screaming at you that want to see you perform poorly, and you come out and perform very well. So it is a true road game. It's going to be probably the rowdiest environment they've been in all year. But I think it's something that this team can thrive under, because they've played in arenas this year where there's zero energy. I think a couple games in Myrtle Beach, there's about 150 people in the stands. You will take going on the road, playing in front of 10,000 people who want to see you fail, opposed to a neutral game where there's 150 people and you can hear someone sneeze.
And Leon Rice said probably not only the hardest challenge to this point, the best team they've played and the toughest environment. Final thing, Abe, we'll let you get ready for the call with Bob coming up in 12 minutes. But if Boise State's going to win this game, and if you're talking to a happy Leon Rice on your post-game show, what's happening tonight for Boise State? What's got to happen to win
Yuri
this?
Collins cannot have 20 assists, because that does 2 things. 1, he's dishing the ball and he's having a really, really good game as their point guard. And 2, they're having an excellent shooting night, because you have to knock down shots to get the assists. So if you're going to have 15 or 20 assists, you know that the rest of the team is shooting the ball really well. So I think you got to try to keep him in check, and then keep the Billikens in the 40%, low 40s in shooting.
Well, we'll be listening to you and Bob. We appreciate your time as always. You'll be on 670 KBOI in about 10 minutes with the pregame show, top of the hour. Folks can watch on ESPN Plus, turn the sound down, cue it up, and listen to you and Bob on 670 KBOI. Right. We appreciate your time as always, Bob. Enjoy the game. Safe travels back to Boise tonight, and we'll do this Tuesday night, I guess. Who's Tuesday's opponent? That would be is that New Orleans, I think, or
Oakland? I don't know. It's all kind of.
There's a game on Tuesday. We'll do it again then. We appreciate your time, man.
There's a game Tuesday. All right. Thanks, BJ.
There he is, Abe Jackson. We appreciate him for joining us here on the pregame show. Again, you can hear Abe and Bob coming up in a few minutes. Boise State making their way into the locker room for warm-ups. We appreciate everybody for coming on and checking us out. Again, this is Lithia Florida Boise pregame show. We're going to hear from Leon Rice in just a minute. We got some of your comments coming in. You can let us know. What do you think? Let us know your comments, your score predictions, all that good stuff. We got a good seat here courtside. We're right by the Boise State bench. Jordan Kay sitting next to me, and Leon Rice did walk over and was a little concerned when he saw that me and Jordan were this close to the bench. He said this will be a first, and you may have to watch what he says. But the new blue uniforms are sweet. That's why they're wearing them. 70-62. Chase has redemption for BSU. We got Amy saying watching from Phoenix. Let's get it. Let's get it, boys. We got Yeah, Jordan K., a Phoenix native, is enjoying that one. Shane says 72-68, that prediction. We got Go Broncos. Where did R.J. Barsh go? Florida State. He is now an assistant at Florida State. So let's get a win over a number 55 ranked Ken Palm team. Yeah, this will be a big one for Boise State if they're able to get it. So we're going to hear from Leon Rice in just a second. Do want to tell you about a couple more of our great sponsors. R.J. Keene going to join us live as well, by the way. We're going to see if we can get Jordan K. to get up for a few minutes and let R.J. Keene sit down when he comes over here in a little bit. But so we got Leon Rice, we got R.J. Keene. But first, want to tell you about a couple of our sponsors. If you're looking for a new job, how about becoming a truck driver? Transportation Compliance Service. They can do that for you and get you out there, with the permits and all the things you need to have that towing that first load in no time. Whether it's the big rig on the screen, Amazon truck in your neighborhood, you name it. If you want a new job, want to become a truck driver, check out transcomservice.com. How about if you need a new dentist? Check out BoiseDentistryCo.com. Locations across the Treasure Valley, Mountain Home, the Caldwell, everywhere in between. Check them out. If you're looking for a new dentist, full family dentistry, they can do your whole family, everybody, your parents, kids, grandparents, doesn't matter. BoiseDentistryCo.com. If you're a business owner looking to get some lower rates on your business insurance, well, check out UnitedCommercialInsurance.com. 229-8222. United Commercial Insurance makes business insurance easy. It's very easy to figure out, and they can lower your rates with a quick call. So 44 states around the country, they can write business policy insurance. So make sure you check them out, UnitedCommercialInsurance.com. Ridley's Family Market, shopridleys.com, 13 Idaho locations. You can find a location near you at shopridleys.com. They've got the Cuno location that I love going to, but the at-home shopping, the Skip app, the home delivery, all that great stuff. Check them out at Ridley's Family Markets. And, of course, the Blue and Orange Store, perfect time for Christmas. We got Leon Rice coming up shortly, by the way. The blueandorangestore.com. Check them out if you're looking for a new some Christmas gifts or some new Boise State gear for you or the family. Free shipping, any order over $40. So make sure you check them out online, theblueandorangestore.com. And Bauscher Real Estate, we appreciate him, the number one ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley. It's Matt Bauscher. Check him out, BauscherRealEstate.com. No home is too big or too small for Matt Bauscher. You can see Boise State warming up there on the court. Let's hear from Boise State's head coach, Leon Rice. He joined us last night at the hotel. Nice enough to join us for a quick interview. Jordan K. and myself, once we arrived at the hotel, when the team arrived after the trip over from Boise. So he wanted to do it in front of a wall with like grass behind it and some leaves, right, basically in a forest. But we're in the team hotel last night. Here's Leon Rice on the matchup with SLU tonight.
Well, first of all, the first road game where we played Texas A&M in Texas, but it wasn't on their campus in front of their fans. And that's something. You're dealing with a lot when you have to deal with playing on the road. And so that's number one. And number 1A is how good a team we're playing. And they're coming off a tough loss. They played a tough schedule when you look at who all they played. They had Auburn beat if they'd make some free throws. They were 1 for 11 in the second half of that game. And they played Maryland. They played Iona on the road. I mean, they played a lot of good teams. And he's got a great team. Travis has a great team. Now that the dust has settled a little bit in college basketball, I would say this is probably the team that's going to win the Atlantic 10. And, I know they were picked in the top 3, but, like I said, as the dust has settled, you're seeing a pretty dang good team, and they're getting better too. So, they got one of the best point guards in the league, one of the best shooters in the country. Well, not best point guards in the league, one of the best point guards in the country, one of the best shooters in the country, and then they got tremendous athletes, tremendous players, and up and down, and a great coaching staff. There's not a lot of chinks in their armor.
I know Ray had something to do with it, a friend of yours, but just for people that don't know, how did this series come about? Obviously, St. Louis, Boise State, not exactly a recruiting area or whatever.
Well,
but
both of us have a hard time getting home games and quality opponents. And Travis didn't want to do it. I didn't really want to do it. I mean, it's tough but we also want good opponents, and both teams have been really good the last 2 years, and I think this might be one of the best St. Louis teams in maybe the last 30 years. And, I think maybe their fan base is a little disappointed because expectations are so high. But like I said, they make a few more free throws. They've already beaten Auburn on the road. Things like that have happened. So they're going to get there. That will come around. And that's just basketball. You're not going to win them all every night. But this is a team that's going to win tons of game going forward.
There's so many times where you got to shut down a incredible scorer, but
Yeah.
what are the keys of stopping a dude who's just an incredible assistant?
Yeah. Well, he makes the whole. I mean, he makes everything go. When you have a guy like him, he makes guys run harder on the break because they're going to get the ball. I mean, you're like some of the passes he's thrown. You're going. There's no way you could. You can stop that. He does. You can do everything right, and he just whizzes it by your ear, and you bucket. So you just got to kind of contain him a little bit, and then make it tough for the other guys. But they got a lot of different ways to score, and I think you saw that last year. They put up a big number on us. We put up a big number on them. It was a heck of a game. So hopefully we're ready to compete and ready to go out because the other thing you got the boards. They're a terrific rebounding team, the best one we faced.
Final one for me, just kind of a fun one, but I know you were a Cardinals fan growing up, I guess, back in the day.
Ozzie Smith.
What do you think of being in St. Louis here?
It's a great spot. I mean, it is. And they have a great building to play in, and Travis has built it up and done an amazing job here. And they, I'm hoping for a great atmosphere. It's a Mountain West kind of arena that we're gonna have to play against a hostile crowd, so it'll be a good experience for us.
You're an Ozzie Smith fan growing up?
Oh yeah, that was back in the day. That was McGee,
Willie McGee,
yeah, Willie McGee and Ted Simmons way back, and so I grew up, and I think I just liked them because my brother hated them. So I just wanted to get on, being the youngest, I wanted to get under their skin.
Well, there he is, Leon Rice. We appreciate him for joining us last night at the team hotel. You can see the SLU Billikens out there on the court warming up. We're going to have R.J. Keene join us in a few minutes once Boise State takes the floor. Fans starting to arrive. Should be a really good atmosphere for this one here. They're expecting a pretty nice crowd. This will be Boise State again, their first true road game of the season. Perry says an R.J. Keene appearance will guarantee a win. Lisa saying, let's go. Appreciate you, Lisa, for watching. Coach Rice, such a gem, always well-respected, full of the opponent, very authentic. Kurt chiming in 73-65. You can get your pregame score prediction in if you'd like. Let us know where you're watching from. We would love to shout you out. And again, we appreciate all of our sponsors. Boise State should be taking the floor momentarily, and then we're going to have R.J. Keene sit down and join us live. We'll throw in a quick promo for our Subscriber Appreciation Month. Make sure you go subscribe to Bronco Nation News. Help us afford these road trips and things like that. $70 one-time fee. It's a one-time fee, $70. Gets you a full year subscription to Bronco Nation News. The grand prize is a trip for two in a private jet to Las Vegas for the game against Las Vegas on January 11th. So that's the grand prize. We got some other great prizes as well. We'll be giving away every Friday. We give away a couple prizes. And again, if you renew your subscription or you purchase a new subscription, that's all you got to do, and then you're entered. So BroncoNationNews.com. Support our road trip coverage and help us out. We would love to have that. So again, Idaho Central Credit Union sponsors our road trip coverage. I see the Raines family making an appearance here. So there's my wife and kids. We got my brother, my parents. So there will be some Boise State fans here. There'll be at least 9 of them because we got 9 members of the Raines family making their way into the arena. Boise State's got should have a nice little contingent behind their bench, but this is going to be an extremely tough game for Boise State. Yuri Collins, we mentioned, leading the nation in assists. They got a lot of guys that are very talented. This is predicted to be one of the top teams in the Atlantic 10 Conference, and so obviously Boise State's going to be up against it. The first true road game. You got to weather the storm early if you're Boise State. So, here come my kids. We'll put them on. You can see Jordan K for a minute. We'll put my kids on the screen here. Where are they at here? There's my kids. Where are they at? Come over this way a little bit, guys. There we go. There's Naismith and Nelson. They're on the camera here. How you feeling about the game tonight?
Good.
Who's going to win?
Boise State.
All right, there you go. We got the Raines family here, and we appreciate them. Now you see Boise State flying by us, taking the court. The blue uniforms here for Boise State as they take the court for warm-ups. We got the Raines boys here ready for this one. R.J. Keene going to join us here shortly. And we'll have a little fun here with RJ as he sits down to join us in just a second. You see Boise State out there warming up. You guys wanted them. You got them back. RJ Keene, how we doing, man?
Good. How you doing, BJ?
I'm doing good. Let me fix that for you. There you go. What's up, bud? 64-23, my kid says. Boys, you'll take that score, I guess.
Yeah, your kid's pretty smart, I would say.
What was the travel like? What's it been like, man? Give everybody kind of the pregame mood here.
Ooh. Well, thanks for having me on again, and I would like to say the mood is very well today. I mean, we come in here and we're trying to put on a show. We're trying to prove that we are legit, and we got some pretty good wins under our belt, and we're trying to get even another big one.
What's the keys tonight to slowing down the Billikens?
Well, the keys. I mean, they have a point guard that's leading the nation in assists, and our keys is when he's driving to make sure he cannot pass the ball, and we're trying not to get number 24 going as one of the best shooters in the nation, and we're trying to shut those two down and then keep them on going.
Who for Boise? You had some predictions that were pretty spot on last time we had you on, at least in the first half. Who are a couple of guys that you have to think could get going tonight?
His name's Tyson Degenhart. I think you got a mismatch tonight. I think it's gonna be a big game for him. I think he's gonna come out. He's playing loose right now. Me and him talked about the last game about when he plays better, he plays loose. He's out here singing songs during warm-ups. He's looking good. I think we're about to see a little Deggy performance tonight.
How do we get the bench going? Obviously, you guys are looking for some more production from the bench. What do you, as a team, how are you guys trying to get those guys going?
Ooh, on the bench, it's confidence. I say making sure Leon embraces the confidence in those guys and those dudes come ready. And I think everybody needs a bench, and I think if those dudes come ready and they're going to be ready, and a bunch of good dudes and a bunch of good ball players, I think when they get their chance, they're going to be good. I think if they bring the energy, it's going to be a really good game for them.
What have you seen from Max Rice, man? Been cool to finally see him get going. 25 against Texas A&M. Obviously a lot of pressure being Coach Rice's kid. What have you seen as a teammate of Max? And obviously this year he's gotten off to a great start.
Yeah, I've been around Max for about maybe 2 years now, and he's just calm. He's ready.
Is this your family?
Yeah, it's my grandma.
Oh, we got grandma here. Let's look at this. What a moment here as the Keene family. We wanted to have you on because you do have a St. Louis connection here. Tell our folks about that.
Yeah, so I was born in St. Louis, lived here for I think 10, 11 years, and then moved to Texas. And so I lived in St. Louis longer than I did live in Texas. I mean, I just connection with St. Louis, and I love it here, man. I mean,
you wore the Blues jersey on the plane. Are you when you got to the hotel last night, man?
Yeah, you got to support. Wear your Blues jersey around. You got to support. I mean, watching them win the Stanley Cup in 2019 was very special. I mean, I'm a diehard Blues fan. I love them, and hey, that's my team.
What is this like being back in St. Louis, man? Obviously, it sucks you're not able to play, but you guys are staying right by Busch Stadium and stuff. I know as well. Pretty cool to be back in technically the town where you were born.
Yeah, it is really cool. I mean, I come back here. I try to come back here once a year, but haven't been able to due to basketball. But I mean, it is very. I mean, it feels like it's home when I come back here. Got to show the dudes around Busch Stadium, the tradition of baseball. Went to the Cardinals Hall of Fame today. Went to Enterprise today, and got to see what it's like to be a cool sports town. I mean, It's one of the best sports towns in the world. If people don't understand.
Well, cool, man. You're undefeated coming on the show. Hopefully, we'll keep it going. We appreciate Coach Rice for letting you come on. Nate Lowry. Any final keys to the game or thoughts for Bronco Nation News here?
The keys to the game, as I said, as they like last time, shut 24's water off.
Shut 24's water off. Who's going to be guarding Collins?
Yuri.
Number one.
Shaver.
Okay, that should be a interesting battle. Two of the better point guards in the country matching up tonight. Appreciate you as always. We're going to end the show here. Appreciate everybody for watching and checking us out. People like Grandma Keene better than Grandma Jean from Loyola, Chicago. But appreciate everybody for watching us. Enjoy the game coming up top of the hour, ESPN Plus. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you on the postgame show, Bronco Nation News Live. Bronco Nation News. We'll keep it going for a second. We'll turn the camera over here. RJ Keene just talked to his family, and we appreciate everybody for checking us out here. But we'll be back on the postgame show. Lithia Ford, the Boise postgame show. There's Sarah, RJ's mom. We appreciate you for watching. Too bad you couldn't make it here, Sarah, but they're kicking us off because of the rules here to get off before the game starts. But big crowd coming in. Should be a lot of fun. Appreciate all you guys for checking us out here on the Lithia Ford, the Boise pregame show. We'll be back postgame. Coach Rice live, some players. Big one for Boise State coming up. And again, we thank all of our sponsors. Appreciate Lithia, Florida, Boise, rowpaint.com, and ICCU, our three big-time sponsors here. The Blue and Orange Store, TCS, all of our great sponsors. So should be fun. Big one for Boise State coming up. 23 minutes over on ESPN+. Watch the game, then come on back to the post-game show here. Bronco Nation News, bronconationnews.com.